What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. The Super Bowl is finally upon us, just about 1 week away, and it is one of the most anticipated matchups we've seen in quite some time. The Kansas City Chiefs are playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend, and we get to see Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes for the second time this year. Many believe Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback to ever play the game, so it's kind of like a passing of the torch from the previous generation's best quarterback to the next generation's best quarterback. So let's jump into it. Starting off, Tom Brady is no stranger to the NFL playoffs. He's played in 44 career postseason games with a record of 33-11. In addition to that, he has over 12,000 yards, completes over 62% of his passes, along with 80 touchdowns and 38 interceptions, and an 89.9 passer rating out of a possible 158.3. Patrick Mahomes, on the other hand, is somewhat new to the NFL playoffs, playing in just 7 career postseason games, winning 6 of those games, including last year's Super Bowl. In addition to this, he's amassed over 2,000 passing yards, has 17 touchdowns, and just 2 interceptions. He also has a 109.8 passer rating out of a possible 158.3. When these two teams played back in Week 12, Patrick Mahomes outplayed Tom Brady, going 37 for 49 with 462 yards and 3 touchdowns. Although Brady was able to throw 3 touchdowns himself along with 345 yards, he also threw 2 interceptions and had just a 61.4 QBR out of possible 100. In that game, the Buccaneers held the ball for just 23 minutes and 13 seconds, which forced Brady into a lot of throws that he didn't have to make. And that's something they cannot have happen in the Super Bowl if they want to beat this high-powered offense of the Chiefs. The Bucs offense had just 417 total yards, opposed to the Chiefs' 543 total yards. Had Brady not had to force some throws and throw those 2 interceptions, they'd probably come out of that game with a win, as they only lost by 3 points. I say this to tell you that Brady doesn't have to play all that well in the Super Bowl if they want to win this game. The main thing that could hinder the Bucs from winning the Super Bowl this year is if they can actually contain Tyreek Hill. In Week 12, when these teams played, Tyreek Hill was targeted 15 times, had 13 catches for 269 yards and 3 touchdowns. And at this point, I probably have the graphic on screen for you. When Tyreek Hill was matched up against Carlton Davis, he was targeted 9 times, caught all 9 balls, had 208 yards, and yes, you guessed it, all 3 of his touchdowns. The dude straight up burned Davis all game long. That means that Tyreek Hill had 77% of his receiving yards come against Davis, along with 69% of his catches. In addition to this, Hill had 58% of Patrick Mahomes' passing yards, which is actually insane. Of course, you can't double him or give him safety help, because when you do that, you leave guys like Travis Kelce open, and at that point, the game's pretty much over for you because your defense can't hold up. Part of the reason Patrick Mahomes was able to get Tyreek Hill going so fast was the inability of the Bucs defensive line to create pressure on Mahomes. In that game, they had just 7 quarterback hits and 2 sacks. And although that doesn't sound too bad, when you're playing against the best quarterback in the league, you have to do better than that. Obviously, we all know that Patrick Mahomes is great at extending plays using his legs. However, if the Bucs defensive line can create just a little bit more pressure on him than they did in Week 12, they have a great chance of making him force throws, which will make it much harder for his receivers to get going. One thing that may make pressures on Mahomes easier for the Bucs defense is the inexperience that they have this weekend. Last week in the AFC Championship game, they lost their Pro Bowl left tackle Eric Fisher to a torn Achilles. His backup, Mike Remmers, has 0 snaps played at left tackle thus far. In addition to this, Nick Allegretti and Austin Ryder are both graded below 70 per PFF, meaning that they are far from the best at their position. Stefan Wisniewski has only played 1 game at right guard, and Andrew Wiley has also only played 1 game at right tackle. Between the Chiefs' left tackle, and right guard, there are 0 snaps played. With that inexperience, the Bucs should easily be able to dominate that offensive line and get more than just the 2 sacks that they gained in Week 12. If that doesn't happen, and Carlton Davis plays like he did back in Week 12, Tyreek Hill is going to make him look like a peewee player for the second straight matchup against him, and the Bucs won't have a chance to win this game even with Tom Brady on their side. Of course, I've said that for the past 2 weeks about Tom Brady, and he's proved me wrong both times, so at this point, I don't know if I can really bet against him. You've heard me say that the Bucs don't have a chance if they can't guard Tyreek Hill or contain him or create pressure. However, I still think that they win this game 35-32. I think with Tom Brady on your team in the Super Bowl, you have a much better chance of winning than any other quarterback. I mean, we're talking about the guy who led his team back from being down 28-3. There's not much more to be said. Obviously, like I said, if they can't contain Tyreek Hill, it's pretty much over, but I do believe that they'll find a way to at least contain him and limit him to less than 200 yards. But if they give up over 200 yards to Tyreek Hill, it's over. As a Bronco fan, I really hate this matchup, as I don't want to root for a division rival, and I definitely don't want to root for Tom Brady, but if I have to pick one, I'm picking Tom Brady. Biases aside though, I think Brady will be too much for the Chiefs defense and will lead his team to a win, getting his 7th Super Bowl ring. But let me know what side you're on down in the comment section below. Do you think the Chiefs are going to go back to back, or do you think Tom Brady gets that 7th Super Bowl ring? As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.